Hello everyone, and welcome to my pretty awkward Q&A. It's been a while since you've seen my face, and it's also been a while since I've done a voiceover. Okay, wait, let me just turn off autofocus real quick. If you just want to skip the Q&A part of this video, I'll be announcing the winner at the end, so just skip on through. So the first questions I'm going to read are ones from Instagram, because I feel like those are more like personal, so. Also, I shaved off all my hair before the lockdown started, so that's why my hair kind of is like, yeah. What is my favorite photo I've ever taken? And honestly, I have no idea. I don't really have favorite things. I feel like it changes on my mood, so I might take a new photo and I'll be like, oh, this is my favorite. So it's hard to say like, oh, this is my favorite now, because it could not be my favorite in the next like week's time. So yeah. What is my favorite ice cream flavor? I would have to say strawberry, just because it's pretty nice. What's the worst camera I've ever shot with, which isn't the Retto 3D? That's a tough question. I didn't like shooting with the Olympus Trip. I felt like it was almost like an Instax camera, even though it was a film camera. I didn't like shooting with the Zenit when I shot with that briefly. Just not having a light meter built in is a bit of a pain. I know people, I do apologize as well if I don't look at the lens. I know people like to take their time and manually meter their images and get like an external light meter, but to me, unless you're like doing it on a tripod or it's like medium format, I don't see the point of that. So I didn't really like using the Zenit, because it was just like, even though it was really satisfying to use, it was just heavy, which was also kind of nice, but just the light meter thing was just a mess. So where's somewhere you'd like to shoot that you haven't had the chance to shoot yet? Weirdly enough, there's this like military base up in Yorkshire where they kind of listen to communications and stuff. It's part of the whole like Five Eyes thing, which I was researching into when I made that Somebody's Listening video. And they've got kind of these like big spherical golf ball things, and I really wanted to go as a part of that project just to take one image of it. And then like, I just think it's really surreal. Like, I'll show some pictures that I find online, and I've always wanted to just go take that picture, so that's something I wanted to do. I realize this question probably means like in the world. Honestly, I have no idea. I think everyone always wants to go to Japan, so I'll just say Japan. What's my favorite drink? Water. Your most favorite moment when taking photos on film? Honestly, I just like not having to take loads of photos. I keep saying photos. Like, with digital photography, you might see a moment like someone's crossing the street and you're like, oh, I want to take this picture. So you'll take it, but you can take like 3 or 4 because it's like burst mode. So you just like, and then you'll pick, which one's the sharpest or the most in focus. But with film, you kind of only ever take it once. So I know that's not really my favorite moment in film. I just like capturing a specific moment, whereas in digital photography, you kind of lose that. So how do you edit your film pictures? I typically don't, unless they're kind of wonky, but then even then I don't really do that. Sometimes on Instagram I will spot heal things I don't like, but this is something I rarely do. Like, and I always thought this was kind of controversial, so I might get cancelled for saying that. Do you develop your own film? No, I did it once, and I just don't care for it. Like, I know people are always like, oh, a film's great because it's about the process and it's slow, but honestly, just give me like a 1 hour photo scan and I'm not looking at the camera. How's Rory? He's not in here at the moment, I don't think, so he's probably just chilling outside in the very temperamental weather. Do you have any favorite places to shoot? I mean, the beach is always nice. I don't really live by a beach, so it's like I'm not really there too often, but then I find with stuff like that, you obviously end up just taking the same pictures and it's almost like touristy. I like living near Manchester, not because it's like amazing, just because having like a city, it's not the best city, but there's like so much versatility in there. I am pretty bored of it. I've been everywhere I can imagine in the city centre and all around, but it's still like kind of useful to have this like hub in the middle where you can kind of get anything you need. So my headphones are making weird noises. Retto to the Leica. I've never shot with a Leica before. But honestly, I could see myself having a very similar opinion. I feel like most of my prejudice came against the pricing of the Retto. If it was priced significantly less, then its build quality wouldn't matter. So I feel like if I got a Leica and was like, this isn't as premium as I felt for the price, you know, I'd probably be like, this is shit. Do I plan on shooting outside of Manchester? Yeah, all the time, you know. I always shoot outside Manchester, and to be honest, I really wanted to make this year a year of like collaborations, but hey, that's not happening now, is it? Where do you study? I don't want to answer that, but I'll tell you what I study. Visual communication. It did start off as photography, but then it transitioned into this visual communication because they kind of wanted to broaden the course, mostly because all the tutors quit, so they didn't have enough tutors like that were photography tutors, so they were like, oh, you know what, we'll just throw in some graphics tutors, some journalism tutors, some film and television tutors. And I like that, to be honest, because I do struggle with photography. I very much consider myself more like video centric than photography centric. That's not a word. How old am I? I am 22 as of 11 days ago, so happy birthday to me. What's my favorite camera? Again, favorites, but to be honest, I really did like the Fuji STX2 before I killed it. I don't want to... The Canon A1 is probably the camera I've used the most, but I by no means like that camera. And at the moment, I've actually got a different camera, which I'm planning to replace the Canon A1 with, so we'll see how that goes. What is my favorite watch? This watch, because it is a hella cool watch, and I'm not going to bother unfocusing this camera because it's such a pain to do it without the Tesco, Asda, IKEA. I didn't actually go to Tesco that much before this lockdown because Tesco is the closest to me, but I'd usually go to Asda because it was like on the way to my uni and back and to Manchester and stuff. So I'd go there, and it was less awkward because people that I knew in my town wouldn't go there. But now I've been going a lot to Tesco because I've not been driving anywhere because the world is fucking ending. And IKEA doesn't sell anything the same, but IKEA's pretty nice. I'm surprised they haven't banned me yet though, so... Have I ever tried APS film? Yes. I did buy a camera once, an APS camera once, because I wanted the case it came in, and it was really cheap. And then I bought some APS film to shoot, but then after like 3 exposures, it was like, nah, the camera's dead. So I was like, okay, I'll buy a new battery. Bought a new battery, same thing. So I just gave up. What's my favorite meme? The fucking Reto one that everyone keeps sending me at the moment. It's really dumb, but like I want to be annoyed when I get it, but then I kind of like that people think of me when they think of the Reto 3D, unless they just think I'm as garbage as it. How do I feel about 110 film? A bit of a waste of time, probably, you know. My favorite point and shoot, and it says MF. I don't know if it means manual focus or a different thing. I don't know if there even is any point and shoots that are manual focus other than like the Olympus XA or whatever it's called. But my favorite point and shoot right now is the Minolta Himatic AF-D, which is like the cheapest Minolta Himatic, but I really like it, other than the fact it can only take maximum of ISO 400 film, which is a bit of annoying. Can we hang out after this pandemic? It depends on who you are, where you live, and if you're gonna stab me. Come a little further. Oh my god, that's hilarious. No! What the hell? That's not cool, man. Okay, so that kind of concludes Instagram, so next I'm gonna move over to the YouTube ones because there is 2 sets of them. Who hurt you? Are you okay? This is on the wrong video. Sorry, my camera died. Why don't I make longer videos? Basically, I have a pretty low attention span, and usually when you make something yourself, you're kind of more interested in it than other people would be. So when I get bored of my own videos, I just imagine that everyone else has already checked out, and the YouTube analytics actually confirm that, which isn't very fun. But honestly, yeah, it just comes down to like, most of the time when I make a video, I'll make most of the content, like I'll go out and shoot one day, get the scans back and the video footage and stuff, but then when I come to editing it, I want it done that day, and that's something I've been trying to stop myself from doing. Like I want to work on things for longer, so hopefully I'll be trying to make longer videos in the future, but at the moment it's kind of hard. My question is, will you give Rory a kiss for me? He actually just left again, so oops. What inspired me to do photography? I'm sorry I keep bumping the microphone and then not looking at the camera. I always liked film. Like when I was in college, I did like film theory and stuff like that. And then I feel like photography at that time on Instagram was kind of kicking off. So I was like following other filmmakers or like aspiring filmmakers, and they were doing photography. So I was like, well, I'll do photography. You know, it's like kind of a hobby to keep you entertained. But then eventually that like overtook it, and then obviously I tried out film one day, and then that kind of piqued my interest more. So I ended up getting into photography more, and yeah, that's kind of the end of that. What is my favorite thrift store find? I actually got my half frame camera from a charity shop back like last summer, which is really lucky because like the week before I was looking at half frame cameras for the Poundland film video, and I decided I wasn't going to buy one because they were like way overpriced, but then I just found this one like a week later for like £10, and that was pretty cool. Honestly, I don't find much when I go to like charity shops. It's pretty rare, even in places where there's like 20 or so. You go in and there might be one camera and it's like a 110 camera, and you're just like, just spin it, lads. Wondering what I use to film my videos with. My Fuji X-H1, which is a digital camera which I only use to film stuff, although most of my early videos were shot with the Fuji X-T20, and then I sold that, shot a couple with the X-F10, and now it's the X-H1, which lens wise I've been using like cheap ones and then manual focus ones, and only now I've got an actual lens, which is the 23mm. I can't read that, like the old one, I think it is the cheaper one. Why are you bored with Animal Crossing, says Sweet Lou. You said that a month ago, which I don't think I was bored at that point, but I am now. Honestly, I'd only not played it for like a day at that point, but I haven't played it in like a month just because I planted like loads of flowers around my paths, but then last time I didn't play for a week, they all grew onto my paths. So now I know the longer that I don't play, the more mess there's gonna be, and it's been a month, so I don't want to go back to all this mess. I need to stop looking at myself. What is my favorite film, as in like movie, which is a good question. I actually do have a favorite film. I'm not pretentious about that. It's Alien, because I think it's kind of aesthetically nice, and that's kind of it. And it's also like a horror film, but it's not really jump scary, which is cool. Next question is how the quarantine has affected my photography life. I was actually planning on like slowing things down anyway to prioritize my uni work, but then so I was already planning on kind of slowing down anyway, which I did, but then I also didn't prioritize my uni work. I just did kind of nothing for the last month. So really it's just stopped me from going into like the city center, into other places. I've still been going out occasionally, but it's been kind of like just walking around my own town. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing is like very similar images each roll, which is kind of annoying. So yeah. What got me into film photography? I was just looking for more stuff to make videos on, because I did start this channel, did film photography technically, and then I had my dad's old camera, and then he mentioned to me that he saw some film in Poundland, so I just figured I might as well get some and make a video on it. And it was around the time like negative feedback was blowing up, so everyone was like, yeah, let's copy this on Instagram and stuff. So that's kind of it. Okay, so that's it for YouTube, and now lastly is Discord. Who inspires me the most in my photography? Honestly, I'm pretty shit with inspiration. I find a lot of the time when I look at other people's work, instead of being inspired by it, I'll just compare myself to it, and kind of that puts me down a little. So I'll kind of like shut myself off from it, which probably isn't very healthy, but so it's hard to say. I know back in uni I really liked Tom Wood's work, but I think I've kind of grown out of that now. What has been my favorite video I've made? That is a hard question. I feel like I always like the ones where I take a break and then come back to it, and then it's a bit different. Like I took a break when I made the autumn video, the same with the fog one like I did this year. And like I really enjoyed making that mini click series, even though nobody apparently watched it, which is fine. Mostly because it was like cool to just see other people that were kind of established as well, and not just like people on Instagram who DM you and have like a couple of hundred followers. What is my main aim with photography? I really want to make a stills project one day, but at the moment I can't really do that. So I think most of the photography I do isn't necessarily just photography. It's just like I'm just collecting like assets, like footage almost, which then I'll use in a video. Like I have plans now to make a horror style video with photography, so hopefully I'm going to do that this week. But obviously I don't think I'll shoot anything, so I'm going to look at like old crime scene photos and stuff. So hopefully I'll make that and not just say it and never make it. Do you have tips for someone wanting to set up a YouTube photography channel? No, don't do it. Oversaturated. No, I'm kidding. Just to me, you shouldn't really expect anything unless you're like going for clickbait. Like, firstly, like, you're not probably, if you're making the videos you want to make that are making you happy, then you're probably not gonna get any like clout, any like engagement, any comments or views and things. But then you might make ones like clickbaity ones, which will do better. But the problem with doing that is it kind of burns you out a lot quicker than just making what you want to make. For me, I really didn't have anything to do for the first like year of my channel, so I just made a video every week without fail, and looking back on it, I was kind of proud of myself, but now I feel like they're kind of a bit mediocre, and then I'm just left with this backlog of like little videos which aren't, you know, awful, but I'm not the proudest of them. I feel like you should not feel pressured by what other people are doing or to make videos which might get more views. Like, just make what makes you happy. And you might be fine with, you know, making clickbait every week, but it will catch up to you eventually. You will like burn out. It is not fun. Who has added me in the general chat? It scares me when people do that. 50 Shades of James, what the fuck? I'm putting this in the video now because of you, because of this. If you haven't joined the Discord already, what is wrong with you? Like, we literally had a cool video chat last night with everyone. Like, this is the only thing that has been keeping me sane the last couple months. Is there any history behind the sunflower logo? I guess, kind of, like, I never really had, like, branding. Like, it always changed. Like, I'll show you on the screen what I can find of the history of it and stuff, but eventually I just grew sunflowers back in, like, 2018, and then I took a picture of them, and I really liked the picture, so then every channel, like, every different iteration was just a different picture of a sunflower I had, until eventually I made that animation whilst like really tired one night, which was insane to me. I don't even remember doing it, but that was good. What is my deepest, darkest secret? I'm not telling you that. What are my thoughts on school? I think school is important for a lot of things. Creative things, maybe less important, but for me, whilst I didn't really enjoy my time in like education, it wasn't because of like anything bad. It was just because I just felt like it was a waste of time. I don't regret it, just because even though I might have not have learned stuff immediately, I've developed like as a person, and not only that, but the last 3 years of uni have been like, have just allowed me to just do this. Like, I just used the student finance money to fund this channel, and now that it's over, I need a job. So if anyone's hiring, then just hit me up, please, because seriously, I need a job, please. What movies have the best cinematography? I don't know about that, but I don't like the letterbox, like the stupid aspect ratio that all films use. And literally now I'm changing my, you can tell this is going to be the first video where I've got footage where you can tell, like, I changed it a while back, my aspect ratio from 16:9 to 3:2. So now it's more square, so it's more in line with like the images that I take. But I've not used any footage yet, so you can't really tell, but this video you're gonna tell, so that's why it looks like this. So to me, I feel like it's more aesthetically pleasing. Like, I don't know, I want to prioritize trying to make my videos a bit more nicer. Like, I feel like I've taken a break the last few months on the quality of my videos and tried to prioritize photography, which is great because I've been enjoying it more. So now I want to get back into videography and then trying to get that to a point where I'm happy. Who is the best Animal Crossing villager? Punchy, because he was my best friend on, I think, Wild World. I actually don't remember. And I haven't seen him yet on New Leaf, but I also haven't played in like a month, so it's not good. How do I find the music for my channel? It depends. I used to just browse SoundCloud for hours and hours trying to find like bands and stuff, but it's obviously hard to find people that'll let you use the music. At the moment, the only one that comes to mind is Ibby, who makes like really chill as fuck piano music, which honestly doesn't fit with the vibes of my videos a lot, but I really like it. Like, they honestly like send you somewhere. If I only had one roll left before dying, what would you shoot with it? Probably Portraits of My Cats Part 2, because yeah, I feel like it's time to update that video, especially now that I'm at home. Oh, I should do that. Why did I shave my head? because I didn't want to have hair like this once the fucking lockdown ended. So why is my channel named Authentic Aesthetic? I don't remember. I know I never wanted it to be just my name because there's like a million channels like that. And I also want this to expand into something more than just me, because I will die eventually, guys. Why did I open this channel? Because I always needed like that video outlet, and I was kind of tired about making documentaries about cows and trams, so instead I did it around something which interested me. How is photography significant in my life? Photography is like the only thing I do in my life. Like, people have messaged me before like, oh, what other hobbies do you have? And I'm like, what other hobby? We're supposed to have more than one? What education do I have? So in school I didn't do anything media related. I did 3 years of college, so that's 16 to 19, where I studied media. So the first 2 years were like film based, and then the last year I kind of got into photography, and then now I've done another 3 years on photography / visual communication, which has been like pretty much a waste of time. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. This year, to be fair, has been the only year I haven't regretted, although that might have changed because of the whole cancellation of it halfway through. But honestly, like, I've got pretty shit grades in everything. I don't even expect to pass this course that I've just submitted my work for. What is my dream camera? I really wanted one of the Contax, like G1s or G2s, or obviously the G2 if I could afford it, for a long time, but now I don't really care. I kind of want to try out a Nikon like F3 or something, but these are all just for videos. Like, to me, I'm not really interested in medium format or large format, so I'm kind of happy with the gear that I have at the moment. Oh, the camera died. When did the camera die? How do you get out of a rut? Like, when you feel like you're not inspired to do anything, you kind of just wait. That's what I do, at least, because wow, I am not motivated like 90% of the time. I really don't like being forced to do things I don't want to. Like, that's why I think community favorites died, because I always made myself do it on the 1st of every month. So when it came to that point, I was like, I don't want to do that. Please don't make me do it. What's my favorite color? I guess it's yellow. I guess. From my experience and point of view, how do you think someone can turn their passion in photography / job and earning money? I've worked technically as a photographer before. Like, I used to shoot models for this fitness company. Nothing murdered my passion more than that. So honestly, I just recommend you do it yourself, but it depends. Like, I don't have the desire to do freelance or to sell prints or to do anything like that. Like, I don't want to sell my work as art, or I don't want to work as a studio photographer or wildlife photographer, because it'd just make me miserable, to be honest. So to answer your question, I have no idea, so sorry about that. What's my most proud video I've made? I mean, the IKEA video was like kind of fun. I remember sitting down and editing it and be like, can I make this video in the aesthetic and have the same appeal that I'm imagining? And I think I nailed that. And then again, making the mini click series, I think I wasn't really sure if I could do it, especially because I left it all to the last week to arrange to shoot people over Christmas and then edit it all, and I was pretty burnt out around that time, but I did it, and now I feel like I have this sense of I can make anything I can put my mind to, which is why I kind of wanted to make this weird documentary style movie for my final project before the world ended. If there's a zombie apocalypse, what vehicle would I have? What weapon? What camera? And what film stock? I wouldn't pick the Canon AE1 because it needs a battery, so once that dies, the shutter doesn't fire. So maybe like a Prakticar or just a point and shoot. As for film stock, nothing fancy, you know, maybe some Kodak Gold or Fuji C200. What was the other question? Weapon? Well, guns are illegal, so maybe like a spoon or something. And vehicle, I feel like Charlie would kill me if I didn't say my old yellow car, which I don't have anymore. I did actually want to make a video on that around the time that I sold it, but this was around the time I was last burnt out. How do you feel about being an analog photographer in the UK? I feel like online there's a lot of analog photographers in the UK, but then where the fuck are they in real life? Because I need more friends. Do I plan on doing a photo walk outside of Manchester? I really wanted to do like a London meetup this year or something, which I don't know how many people would have wanted to come to that, but yeah, I mean, come on, my whole life has been ruined. How does the authentic aesthetic community affect my day-to-day life? Honestly, I didn't even think about this as a community until like Discord started to pop off a couple months ago, and now is my favorite thing. Like, I don't even care that I got 10k, like, but the fact that I can go into Discord and people will be talking and stuff and we can video chat, I'm just like, I can't comprehend it. Like, it doesn't feel like this is mine. Like, I'm not saying I own you all, but like, it doesn't feel like this started because of me. It's so odd. So I do have to tell myself a lot, like, oh, right, like, everybody here has a reason why they're here. They're like, oh, I saw your video on this, or your video on this, or your video on this, or your post on Instagram, or whatever. So that's pretty crazy. Oh, the camera's died again, but that doesn't matter because we've run out of questions anyway, and we can just do the text thing now. So let's see who wins the giveaway. How do I do that? Get YouTube comments. Holy shit, there's 243 people. Okay, I am picking a winner. And the winner is loading. Is Toby Hawkins. So I'll DM you on Instagram, and once you get back to me, I'll send off this camera. So hurry up, because... So yeah, thanks for everyone to watching this pretty awkward Q&A. Sorry the camera died a bunch. And I will see you in the next video, whatever I decide to make, because I have no idea yet. Goodbye.